Another job opening, and we kind of heard rumors of this with Mike Vrabel being let go by Amy Adams Strunk, the owner of the Tennessee Titans, yesterday.
Where did she get her money?
I think
she's the daughter of Bud Adams, right?
She is. She's the daughter.
Inherited.
I don't know how Bud Adams
If
got
I
it.
I think I heard 75% of millionaires it's inherited money.
Now, if I were her, I would
something
drop
like that.
the Strunk. I would just go with Amy Adams.
Well, that must be her married name, right?
Well, still,
Yeah.
I would punt that name away.
Then they think you're the actress.
Adams is
You're
fine. Adams is better than Strunk.
I agree with that.
It's not even close.
All right, but let's just talk about Vrabel for a second.
I think
That
Vrabel's
guy's
a good coach.
Great coach.
Yeah, I know. And he was only there 6 years. He went to a championship game. He had 3 playoff appearances in 6 years.
He had hot garbage as quarterback.
He didn't have any. I mean, besides Henry, what
Right,
talent
I mean,
did
that's
he
all
have?
he could do is stuff the ball into Derrick Henry's midsection
No.
and play good defense.
Yeah, DeAndre Hopkins.
Okay, but he was up and down this year. Like the passing,
I know this year.
the passing game was meh. They've always been a power running game.
But he didn't
and
have Hopkins at his
defense led
prime.
That's true.
He's a great coach.
Yeah, but he had A.J. Brown.
He had A.J. Brown.
I don't know if I'd put him
But
in.
he didn't have the
Tannehill was
quarterback.
pretty
I
good for a
think he's a
couple
great
seasons.
I'd go pretty good. I give him the pretty good.
I'd go
I put
pretty
him in
good.
that-
What do you
that
think the percentages?
category.
We put this up as the Junkies poll of the day, brought to you by Van Meter Homes. 54-45, 3 playoff appearances, 1 AFC championship. Yes or no from the fan base on
I think they want somebody
Vrabel.
sexier because they've struggled the last couple of years and we're a prisoner of the moment. But I think he's a great
I
coach.
think he should definitely be interviewed. Like he has to be interviewed by the search committee, I would think, if you're Josh Harris. I mean, if you're Josh Harris, you see that Vrabel's available. That's where he has to call up Bob Myers and Spielman and say, let's make room for a Vrabel
But don't
interview.
you think that if Belichick is they part ways up in New England,
That seems like a no-brainer.
he's the number one guy.
Yeah, I would
to
think.
make a lot of
Seems
sense.
like a grand plan.
Don't they like
there.
Gerard Mayo, though? Doesn't
I've heard that name too. Yeah.
So you can vote now at Chunks Radio, but currently about 2,500 votes, only 43% would want Mike Vrabel as
No,
the
it
head
makes
coach.
sense to me, but he's still a great coach. I mean, who cares what people think? He's a great
I
coach.
think he'd be good.
The fan base wants one guy, Ben Johnson.
I know.
It's crazy.
Well, they just want someone who's going to bomb the ball out and have exciting plays that,
Yes.
Vrabel could be a very
Exactly.
good coach, but he doesn't have the most exciting brand of football.
Right.
No.
After watching.
I mean, for a long
if he
time,
had,
Run the
if
ball
he had
40 times a
Drake
game.
May or Caleb Williams, they're probably going to throw
but
the
he
ball.
leans into his strengths. Like for a long time, he had Arthur Smith as his offensive coordinator before he went to Atlanta, and he had Derrick Henry in his prime.
But that
of
one year
course you're gonna-
Tannehill went off, I think they scored a ton of points that year. If you
I
look
mean, I
it
have
up,
to go back and look at it.
I think
but
they scored like 500 points that year.
maybe.
What year was that?
There was a year when
2019.
Tannehill went off.
I like
Isn't that when
if
they
you-
got the 1 seed?
Maybe.
That would have been 2020. That
But
would have
if
been
you-
COVID year, I think.
But if you
Might
have a
have
top
been.
3 running back,
Didn't they
I can
lose to
see
the Ravens
leaning
that
into
year?
That guy
I think they lost to the Ravens that year.
That sounds
yeah,
right.
I think so.
in Baltimore. I think.
Dude, I have
No,
no
that
memory
was-
of
that
the
was
COVID
Tennessee?
year.
Yeah, they went into
I
Tennessee.
have no
and won.
memory of those games with like empty stadiums.
Yeah.
What a blur that was.
It's wacky.
But anyway, some people might think he's good.
I think
I think he's excellent.
I agree. I think he's
Oh, it was
But-
the Chiefs. They lost to the Chiefs in the AFC Championship.
right. But what?
No,
what-
I'm-
they weren't the 1 seed that year.
No,
were
they won't. No, they lost. They weren't the 1 seed that year. That was the 2019 year. Then I think 2020 they were the 1 seed.
I think the 2020 year they were the 1 seed because Lamar went into Tennessee. Almost positive of
And
that.
that was they couldn't stop Derrick Henry, from what I remember from that game. If my memory is not
No,
faulty.
no, you're confusing 2019 with
I'm
2020.
conflating years. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, because they played them in back-to-back years, right?
Yes, the Titans won in Baltimore when Baltimore was the 1 seed and Titans were like the 6 seed.
Okay.
Right.
And then the next year, I think the Ravens won in Tennessee when Tennessee was the 1 seed. I think that's the year they were the 1 seed, and that was the Tannehill bomb year.
Yeah. 'cause
Bottom line is he's a very good candidate. I don't know that the Commanders have expressed interest in him. You would think they would because they're interviewing 6 or 7 guys for the head coach.
it feels like this GM search is going to be over with the quickness. Like
well, Josh
yesterday,
Harris said
Rappaport,
he wanted to get it done quick.
yeah, like swift but thorough. Rappaport reported like 3 guys were meeting yesterday.
Yep.
Yeah, he's probably got him
Knocked
slated.
out 3.
I think the Chiefs guy, Borgonzi.
Yeah.
Peters, did he meet yesterday or is he meeting today?
I thought I heard yesterday, but Jason's
Yeah.
saying today.
And today, I think Ian
I think it's
Cunningham
today.
from Chicago also on the slate to be interviewed today.
Finley was reporting yesterday on Channel 4 that it's today that he's meeting with
It's crazy. They're going to knock this out.
Here's
Could be
what
fast.
Here's what worries me about when you say guys like Vrabel's a very good coach, and I would tend to agree with you, but he's got like a 54.5% winning percentage. When Ron came here, he had like a 61% winning percentage. And
No, I know.
And it was awful.
Yeah, but
So you
Ron
just-
also,
True. And it may have been Ron, the personnel guy, was so much worse than Ron, the head coach.
I see
But-
parallels to Ron. I could understand you making that.
That's what I said
hear
about
you.
Quinn yesterday. Quinn is exactly one game above 500.
Felt like Vrabel is more cutting edge. I feel like he's more. I don't know. I just feel like
I mean,
just more-
he's
more
limping
than
his last 2 seasons, 7-10 and 6-11.
True, but
I
his
have-
quarterback play has been
Amazing.
bad the last 2
It
years.
seems it just seems like everyone loves him too. You know what I mean?
His players do like him.
I think he's. A
And
great
I know
coach.
people liked Ron, but it's just I don't know. It seems like every player he comes in contact with has this affinity for him.
The Ron red
ready,
flag-
and are ready to run through a wall for him.
The Ron red flag, if you looked at it, was like 3 winning seasons out of 9 or something when he came
Yeah,
here.
it's not great.
Right? So he had a winning record. It was like 60%, but it was all that 15-1.
Wasn't Vrabel the guy who got caught with his hog out, like in a reflection in a picture in his house like a couple of years ago?
Oh, is that true? I don't remember that.
It's jumping out at me. I think that's correct.
I'm not into
The thing about
Vrabel's
those
hog.
the thing about those big years that Tennessee had with and
Yeah, but if it's big, you want to hire him.
Cakes is right.
I'm telling you, I just knew that was in the back of my brain.
well, I'll
Yeah.
tell you, he had one with a
Right.
sizable Derrick Henry. And Derrick Henry in those years when they were going to the
Yeah.
championship game, he was having bomb years.
Sure.
Was
he
he
had
rushing
a-
like for 2,000 yards?
He had a 2,000-yard season. He was rushing for like 20 touchdowns.
Right.
Actually, I'm not sure, Cakes, because I just typed up Mike Vrabel penis. And
As
what's
you
coming
should.
up is he said that he would cut his off to win a Super Bowl.
Oh, okay.
You know what?
And
That's,
that
and
went
that's
viral.
selling.
You know what? That's commitment. That's
No.
commitment from your head coach.
I wouldn't do that. There's nothing I would do for that.
No,
I'd let
no,
my
no.
kids die before I cut my junk off.
Yeah, you just make another one.
Yeah.
So
There's
that's
no chance.
So I believe there's 6 openings. Obviously here, Atlanta, Carolina, Tennessee now, Chargers. I'm going to put Vegas in there. Am I missing one? Could be missing one. Even though Vegas, I mean, they haven't announced that Pierce isn't coming back, right? They haven't announced
No,
that.
but it sure seems like he's not the leader. Like the
Yeah.
players want him, but it doesn't seem like Mark Davis
So I'm just
is
going to
enamored
I'm going
with
to
him.
add him to the list. Or
Well,
add him
Because
to the-
that's an
Harbaugh's
opening.
in play there.
yeah.
There's some people that are connecting dots with Harbaugh in Vegas.
Yeah. So 6 openings, unless I'm missing one, and we'll find out what's going on with Washington here at the GM search.